What up, everybody? It's your boy Theo EJ. Thinking about this Nipsey Hussle situation and the hater who killed him, at least how the story sits right now. We know that's subject to change. But either way, we know that it was a black man who pulled the trigger. And it brings to mind the perfect quote to sum up this situation, right? And the quote goes like this: "The black man is indestructible, but self-destructible." I'll say it again. The black man is indestructible, but self-destructible. Now, this quote first came to me via my first African martial arts instructor, Baba Ibn Imani. And what he said was they threw the plantation at him, the slave ship at him, the barking dogs, the lynch rope, assassinated him, had to give him a holiday. But somebody along the way, J. Edgar Hoover, somebody along the way figured out that if you could turn the raw brute force that brothers used to survive inward, that you could collapse the black man from within. T.I. talked about how the brothers who killed Nipsey Hussle were operating on a low vibration. And it occurred to me that all people can manifest higher or lower vibrations. What seems to be unique about black folks is the amplitude that we bring to the wave. Meaning, if we are on some higher vibrational shit, it's borderline magic. Those of us who can actually reach that frequency become messianic sometimes, right? Those of us who are operating in the lower frequencies can be borderline demonic. And you've seen this. I know you have, right? And it brought me back to the time when my vibration was the lowest. I was about 15, 16 years old. I was at the bottom of the pecking order, had extremely low self-esteem, man. You know what I'm saying? And I remember my mind being occupied with hella violent scenarios, right? Where my inadequacies were turning inward and then projected outward, man. I remember, I was jealous of cats, right? Wanting to end brothers, wanting to harm brothers for simply the crime of shining in my presence when I felt less than, man. You know what I'm saying? I was occupying a thought cloud that was blocking me from higher vibrations. And within that thought cloud, I could only see these violent scenarios in which I was going to do this time what I failed to do last time. And I think a lot of us are operating in these dense, low vibrational thought clouds that prevent us from seeing out of our scenarios and seeing obvious solutions to certain problems, man. And I think there's a thug thought cloud too, man. Like all these cats who claim to be killers and gun poppers and all this stuff, I never claimed to be that. But people ask, well, if you're supposed to be this killer and you're going to pop triggers anyway, how come you don't kill somebody from the oppressor class? You're going to get the same amount of time. It never occurs to them, right? The thought cloud is so dense and it keeps them in that low ass vibration. And I imagine this fool shitty because if it really was him, right? Looking at the golden G, Nipsey Hussle, and feeling like his self-esteem was in the toilet by comparison. And, being a snitch, you at the bottom of the pecking order in the whole hood. And so that fragility that we have, now that's where the systemic thing comes in. The ego fragility of black men is an inherited trauma that comes from generation after generation of castration, not being allowed to express our full manhood. So when we feel like another brother's threatened us, we literally defend our idea of manhood with our lives, with deadly force. Because we can't take it. Taking the L feels like a murder to us. When a brother loses in the hood, it feels like he part of the walking dead, right? And so this is an illusion that we can't see through because of the dense, low vibrational thought cloud that our trauma has trapped us in. The black man is indestructible, but self-destructible. And what that quote also means is that when we begin to cease being an enemy to self, we are unstoppable. And the evidence of this unstoppability is all around us. I don't know if you've ever taken inventory of how many goats, greatest of all times, icons, cross the intersection of black and male, and how statistically unlikely that is. But I'm going to read this off to y'all because I think it bears some remembering here, right? None of these brothers I'm about to quote are perfect. All of them are legends. Look at this shit, right? Dr. King, Stevie Wonder, Usain Bolt, Bob Marley, Malcolm X, Dave Chappelle, Michael Jackson, Hannibal Barker, Muhammad Ali, Patrice Lumumba, right? You got Marcus Garvey, Luther Vandross, Tupac Shakur, Nipsey Hussle, George Washington Carver, Ramses the Great, Obama, Haile Selassie, the original Buddha. Notice the kinks in his hair, right? And some would say Christ himself. All occupy this messianic space. And when we operate in that higher vibration, somebody knows that we are world changers within that capacity. And it's time that you know that. Then in this time when we have so much doubt and sorrow and inward turning self-hatred because of what's happening in our communities, remember your potential. I don't know about you, but operating within the capacities of those greats that are black men, that inspires me. I hope that presses you forward, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we need that right now. We need this reminder. So if you agree with this video and the message, please like, follow, and share. I am Theo E.J. Wilson. And until next time, remember who you are. Because if you forget, somebody else does. Thank you very much. Peace.